After the role of a lifetime, I've been busy. Xbox on. So, I look forward to my downtime. Xbox, go to Titanfall. This is insane. Check this out. Xbox Snap TV. That does two things at once, so I can play games while I watch my favorite shows at the same time. Whoa, Xbox, record that. I just wish I had more time to play. Yo.
Xbox One, now starting at $399.
I'm up. Welcome to Weekend Refresh. It's a little bit of a slow week this week following E3. We kind of go into the summer drought of video games and gaming news. So I've been taking it a little bit easy this week. I believe what we just started with, we found where Jesse Pinkman went, apparently. Now he's working in the advertising department of Microsoft. So that's the newest Xbox One commercial starring Aaron Paul from Breaking Bad fame. Kind of misleading in the commercial, considering that he's doing voice commands to his Xbox One and Titanfall. And then they advertise the $399 bundle, which conveniently does not have Kinect to make use of any of those features. But hey, that's advertising for you. So cheers to Microsoft for Jesse Pinkman commercials. And you want to know who has the whole summer game drought thing figured out? I'd say it's Valve. Starting this week Thursday was the beginning of the big Steam summer sale, where a ton of games are drastically cut down. So there might not be that many new games to play over the summer, but it's a good time to go into that backlog and play a few games you overlooked. For me personally, I just picked up State of Decay and all the DLC for just about $10, which is a really good deal. Enjoying that game a lot so far. If you want a copy of Street Fighter 4 Arcade Edition, I believe it's under $8 right now. So it's really great deals. As soon as you're done watching this video, head over to Steam and get yourself some cheap games. And while a lot of us are relaxing on summer vacation, there's quite a few of our readers out there that I'm sure are stressing out about college applications. And if you're good at League of Legends, I suggest checking out Chicago. The news this week was Robert Morris University in Illinois is offering the first esports scholarships in the United States to build their own League of Legends team to compete in the pro circuit. The economic side of this actually works out pretty well if you think about it. They're offering about $10,000 a semester in scholarship money to students, but the prize pool just in the World Championships alone last year in League of Legends was over $2 million. So if they build themselves a winning team, it could bring in a decent amount of money for the school. This is sort of similar to what's been going on in Korea the past couple months, where student athletes are actually being lumped into the same category as esports students athletes. So it's a brave new world of esports. If you're good at League of Legends, get a free college education. How great is that? And one university you shouldn't even bother trying to apply to is Cornell University. Quite a prestigious college with many well-known graduates. One of them being Reggie, Fils-Aime, the current Nintendo of America president. And he made some pretty bold statements this week following E3. And I don't think his math is very good. So Reggie was saying that Nintendo and Sony are closely tied right now in the console race in taking into account the life-to-date numbers, which is actually wrong. Because when you look at the numbers, PlayStation 4 is well over 2 million more units sold than the Nintendo Wii U. And guess what? PlayStation 4 is priced more than the Wii U, so Sony's made a lot more money on it. It's not sure where he got these numbers from, if he included the 3DS, or if he's talking about software sales, which I really doubt are much higher than PlayStation 4 software sales, even with the big head start that they've had. But nonetheless, hey, Nintendo did win E3, but don't try to bullshit people. I mean, come on. We know Nintendo's still behind. So just, hurry up on those good games and get back on people's good side the right way, not just making things up. And with all the E3 hoopla last week, there were a few smaller games at the show that went largely unnoticed, thanks to all the big press conferences and news cycles where you can only cover but so many things. So this week I caught up on two particular games that I found interesting from E3. They weren't new game announcements, they were pre-existing games, but small indie games that typically don't have a presence at E3 considering the high cost of booths and all that. The first one is Aztez, which is a 2D black and white side-scrolling brawler with heavy battle influences from Bayonetta, as well as turn-based strategy and all sorts of cool Aztec weapons. It's just super unique. I believe it might be coming out by the end of this year. It's been in development for a while now. And then the other one, just as equally visually unique, Cuphead, which is sort of inspired by the old 1930s cartoons, sort of like a early Disney Steamboat Willie style, but in color. And it's a run and gun co-op shooter with a heavy emphasis on boss battles, and that one's been in development for a while. It's being pushed back to 2015, but both worth taking a look at. Great for indies that actually have some sort of presence at E3 this year. And this year's E3 had a few cool pictures coming out of it that weren't enough to actually post a full story up about. There was the photo of Phil Spencer and Jack Tretton together, considering Jack last year totally killed Microsoft heading up the Sony press conference, but Jack is no longer with Sony now, so he was sort of a free agent. He actually did commentary with Spike TV at E3 this year. And then what I thought was one of the coolest photos to come out of E3 this year was Shigeru Miyamoto trying out the Oculus Rift. And there was a follow-up story this week from that Time article that leaked the Miyamoto games. Now that that article is officially up, they actually asked Miyamoto what he thought about the Oculus Rift, and if Nintendo was gonna have any sort of support for it in the Wii U, and turns out, nah, they're not gonna do it. So their official response is Nintendo focuses on the family living room experience, and putting a VR headset over your head is just sort of antisocial behavior, which is equally kind of funny considering Facebook spent $2 billion on the technology, being a social network company, and see some form of social aspect to the device. But so Nintendo's sticking to their guns, doing things the Nintendo way. But you can still dream what a Miyamoto Oculus Rift game might be like, or you can just play that horrible Mario 64 direct ripoff with that Fox's Lucky Day or whatever. That was made by the guy that made Words with Friends, so if you're interested in that, you can go look it up. And I was surprised at E3 that there weren't any Goat Simulator ripoffs. That game costs next to nothing to create, has made a ton of money, and spawned a whole new genre of animal simulator games. Personally, I was waiting for the cat version called Pussy Simulator, but hey, somebody's actually doing it. It is called Cat Lateral Damage, and Probably not a good idea to launch a Kickstarter the week of E3, but that's exactly what the developers have done. Cat lateral damage, the Kickstarter still has 20 days left to go. Hopefully they'll get enough attention in this weird news cycle. They're not asking for too much. I believe their goal is only around $40,000. Kind of low-tech graphics. Reminds me a bit of Katamari Damacy, but with cats. And if you donate enough to Kickstarter, they'll actually put your cat in the game. So if you're a cat lover, head on over to the article, find the Kickstarter link. Game's already made it through Steam Greenlight, so either way we're going to see cat lateral damage in some way, but in what form is really up to you and how much money you're willing to donate to them. You might notice I'm starting to slur a little bit by this point, so sorry if I'm a little hard to understand right now. It's leading up to this story. I'm tired of talking about E.T., but we've got another E.T. article this week. The whole E.T. landfill story has another chapter. So it's been excavated, and now they're deciding who to send the cartridges out to. The Smithsonian being one of the people very interested in having some of these cartridges. I believe there's even some Kickstarter campaigns where they'll send you an ET cartridge if you donate enough to it. Hopefully this is the last chapter in all this ET stuff. If you want to know the rest, check out the article. And if you're as sick of this ET landfill story as I am, just ignore everything I just said. Okay, there's one thing or person I'm actually more sick of hearing about than the ET landfill, and that would be Phil Fish. You might remember Phil Fish as the developer of the very excellent Fez, who very publicly quit development of Fez 2 after games journalist Marcus Beer from Game Trailer fame. By the way, GameTrailers.com got bought out by Defy Media. They're no longer a Viacom company, and they're splitting up that team, and I just wanted to say that makes me kind of sad. A lot of my video formats are based off of Game Trailers, and I think they've been a very great site. I hope they keep Kyle Bossman on the staff, but I shouldn't be telling you what other sites to go to. Stay on our site, watch my videos. But back to Phil Fish. So Marcus Beer pissed him off, and he quit Fez 2. He's like, screw you guys, I'm going home. Fez 2 is canceled. We haven't heard much from Phil Fish since then, but just recently he's been active on Twitter again, and he was bitching about Let's Play videos and comparing them to piracy, saying that the video game developers should get a cut of any Let's Play videos. Not that it matters, since Phil Fish isn't developing games anymore anyway, so hopefully he just goes away because he's not relevant anymore. But what is relevant? Well, go to gamersunite.com to find that out, because you'll have all your latest gaming news, previews, and LAN events in your local area. And probably next week I'll be back to the normal set format and slightly less inebriated. So until then, I'll see you guys later.